Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Hey, Mark, how we doing today? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday indeed. Hey, Jeff, let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
You ever been to North Dakota?
No.
Would
I've
you
been
ever
to-
go to North Dakota? Willingly go to North Dakota?
Is that where they are? Because I thought they were in Minnesota.
No. No. But before we get into what we watched, Jeff,
But
you
it
gotta
says Minnesota. All right. Go ahead. We'll talk about this in a minute.
tell the listeners what we're doing this year.
So this year we are watching films with 1 degree of separation. So our films week to week will share an actor, a writer, a director. They'll have 1 degree in common and sometimes more. So for example, last year we finished the year off watching A Simple Favor starring Anna Kendrick, who was in Life After Beth, which starred Rob Reiner, who was
Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser. Who's Rob Reiner? He's a director, right? Paul Reiser, who was in Whiplash, which starred Miles Teller, who was in Top Gun Maverick, which was written by Peter Craig.
Yay.
Maybe. Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Which who also wrote Gladiator II, which starred Pedro Pascal, and he was in another film called Drive-Away Dolls, Getaway Dolls, something like Drive-Away Dolls. Drive-Away Dolls, which he played the penis collector. And in that film was Margaret Qualley, who was in Substance, which starred Demi Moore, who was in Indecent Proposal, what was this one? That one had, fuck, help me with his name. He's got 3 names.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. Sorry, I knew who it was. I just couldn't think of his name. Billy Bob Thornton, who was in Armageddon, which starred both Peter Stormare and
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, who are in this week's film. This is getting harder week to week. Who are in this week's film Fargo, which also stars William H. Macy, Frances McDormand, and was directed by the Coen Brothers back in 1996. It is now, to settle this debate,
Yeah.
it says Minnesota car salesman Jerry Lungard, anyway, but it says Minnesota.
Yeah. Fargo is in North Dakota, though. So just a good chunk of this, and I would probably say that they're pretty close together. But Fargo,
but they're in different states. Wouldn't
correct
jurisdiction, end? I mean, guess
she's a Fargo police officer. I don't know. I don't really know if she goes to Minnesota to interview William H. Macy's character, but
yeah,
she never takes any type of real police action. Jurisdiction is just for arrest purposes. Jeff, why did you pick this one?
Because it is a classic that I have never seen.
Is it a classic?
I also know you. Yeah, I think I think Fargo has a high reputation, as at least that's what I feel, that people love Fargo, and it has a pretty good reputation as being this sort of classic dark comedy.
Yeah.
Now, whether I agree with that, that's different, but I definitely feel like it has a pretty big reputation. I mean, it even spawned a television show afterwards, so
sure. And it did win 2 Academy Awards. It got nominated for 5, maybe. Frances McDormand won her first Best Actress Oscar for this. Ethan Coen. So what's interesting about this is that IMDb lists this as a co-directed production by both of the Coen brothers, but
yeah,
the end credits only list Joel Coen as the director, and Joel Coen was nominated for Best Director for this film. So, but Ethan Coen did write it, or assisted in writing it, I guess.
But then Ethan Coen was nominated for Best Picture.
Right, because he is on the. So how really how the
I don't understand.
How the Academy works is these movie companies they submit nominations for whatever film, and it's up to them who they want to really get credit for an award, right? So like the Screen Actors Guild typically movie companies typically nominate everybody and their brother that worked on the film for the Screen Actors Guild Awards. It's a little bit different, like Golden Globes.
But that's not the Oscars.
No, it's not. But award productions are typically the same. They typically follow similar formats.
Can we agree that the awards is a big circle jerk?
Typically, yeah.
Outside of like a People's Choice Awards where the fans vote and decide, it's like everyone just doing like 69 in a circle. I don't know what you call that. I agree. What is that?
69. I don't know.
You're a police officer. You've seen all sorts of things. What is that? You've not busted in a room and seen someone doing a circular 69.
If I've seen it, I haven't thought about what I would call it. No, but see, the thing about like audience nominations for films is that typically, audiences only see mainstream films, right? They don't go out of their way to.
Has also shown their inability to vote properly. So, I mean, I also get that that's faulty.
Right. So, like, without a body of actors and directors and producers and writers and all this that typically vote on the Academy Awards, you would see nominations for, a Smurfs movie or just only the big budget films. And you wouldn't really get, like, this Fargo. Like, I don't actually know what the budget was and how much this movie made, but it probably wasn't, like, this super popular movie back when it came out, in 93?
No, I don't think it was a blockbuster, but I think maybe over video rental or whatever. I mean, on an estimated budget of $7 million, it made 24 in the U.S.
Right. So it
and 60 worldwide. Yeah, so
it was a small movie.
It made its money back, but I think it just has a big reputation.
Sure. I agree with you that the reputation for Fargo has always been this big thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, but I was a kid and I only remember the wood chipper scene. And so the rest of the movie was pretty foreign to me. But honestly, I had no desire to really sit down and watch it before this. And so, what did you? I love William H. Macy.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love, and he's more of a TV actor than he is a movie guy. Because I was looking at his filmography for potentially next week, and I was like, dang, he doesn't really have a whole.
You know what you could pick off of this? With William H. Macy?
Yeah. Oh, Jurassic Park 3.
Well, I like Jurassic Park 3. I think it's underrated. But I was thinking you could pick Psycho 1998.
Oh.
But I wouldn't want you to do that either.
I don't know, but I really like William H. Macy, and everything he does is really well done. And
is it? I mean, I like William H. Macy too.
He just plays an everyman guy like really well.
Yeah, but he kind of plays a putz in this, and he does the same. Have you seen Pleasantville?
Yeah,
and he kind of is like the same thing in that, where he's a gee golly gee whiz kind of guy. It makes more sense in Pleasantville because it's this, television world of the 50s or whenever, the 40s, I don't really know. 50s, right? That's when TV was a thing.
That's right.
And I just I found everyone, though. I think it's like a director's thing. Not everyone, but a lot of the characters just had this overly like hammy sort of way about them. Oh, gee golly, gee whiz, man. Like that whole Northwestern or the Midwest sort of talk to them, and they were all kind of goofy. I mean, there were exceptions like Peter Stormare and Steve Buscemi, but like I think Frances McDormand did a good job of, out of all of them, of having it reined in.
Yeah.
Like to feel more natural. But like her police partner and especially William H. Macy was just like, oh golly gee whiz. And his wife was like kind of the same way. But
no wonder you wanted her to have her kidnapped.
That was the other thing, man. Like, this says it's a dark comedy. This shit is got maybe 2 laughs in it for me. But I just was like, it's really dark.
It is. It's a drama.
His wife was a good wife, and he got her killed.
Yeah. The whole. I mean, what is it? It's a fraud scheme that he's trying to pull.
Yeah, he's trying to fraud his own family,
right? And like what I didn't really understand, and I don't really care to, I guess, but is how he was going about borrowing against car. Like, I didn't really understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand why he needed the money. It felt like he had like a damn mob. Like, it would have made sense if he was like,
if he owed money, to somebody.
A better,
right?
Like, who owed a bookie some money, or he's going to break his kneecaps. But I think, it could have given us a little more detail as to why he was so desperate for the money. But nothing works for him. Like, he doesn't think anything through.
Well, I caution to say this, but like the film, I don't know if the film is the same without him. I mean, he's obviously the main, he's one of the main characters, but like
for sure,
how William H. Macy plays him, I don't know if the film works in the ways that it does if you put somebody else in that role. Like,
I just would have liked him to rein it in just a bit. Like, there are moments where, like, when he gets home after finding his father-in-law, and he puts him, like, we don't even know what happens there. Like, he puts his father-in-law in the trunk of the car after his father-in-law's been killed.
Right.
And then he comes home, and his son's like, Dad, is everything okay? He goes, yep, yippers. But it is reined in a little bit there, but I think a lot of, I don't know. I found him kind of more annoying than anything.
No, but by the end of the film, you're just like, oh God, like, just
the most realistic acting he does is when he's getting arrested at the end, and he's like crying while they're basically butt humping him into submission.
Butt humping.
I mean, that's what it looked like. I mean, it certainly didn't look consensual. Consensual arrest?
Yeah, there's no such thing. All right, so the reason you picked this movie, what do we think about Peter Stormare and Steve Bug-Eyed Buscemi?
They're the best part, honestly. I mean, Peter Stormare doesn't have to do anything. He just sits there most of the movie.
Yeah.
But he is appropriately intimidating, mostly because of his lack of emotion.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's a sociopath. And Steve Buscemi carries all of his scenes because he's kind of has to.
Yeah, he's the one talking.
Yeah. And so I really enjoy Steve Buscemi in just about anything. Like, I can't think of a role that he's played that I was like, he fucked that up. He's just good in all of his stuff.
And his filmography is weird to me because, like, this is pretty dramatic for him, even though he's kind of comedic in it. But it's a serious role, and then he goes through this like kind of period where he's just playing like these idiot type characters, and then he has that one HBO show.
Empire something. Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire, where like he wins like a ton of Emmys because it's so fucking good and he's so fucking good, and it's a very dramatic role. And I mean, it shows his range, but like his filmography is very weird. He's
got a lot of comedy.
Yeah, he's an Adam Sandler buddy, and so
yep.
He's in a lot of that stuff. But like,
he's been in several, maybe not several, but he's been in, what's it called? Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just and seeing him here, where I guess it's early Steve Buscemi. Maybe I haven't seen enough. I mean, I guess I have seen enough of him, but like I would like to see more dramatic stuff from him, like Boardwalk Empire. Very good, and I think I want more of that actor than a comedy guy, but I don't know.
I like them both. Why not both?
Right. I did enjoy, just the. It's back and forth is too strong because there's really no back and forth, but
it's him sitting alone in the car yelling at the sky.
But I thought that when they first kidnap William H. Macy's wife, and she's in the back of the car, and then the cop pulls them over, and all the things that set in motion pretty much the entire film. And could you imagine driving down the road and you just like you're like on this one random desolate road and you pass these guys, they killed a cop and they're like dragging the body, and like you're just like, oh shit. But that guy didn't drive away very fast. And it was
no.
like,
well, I think he tried to because then he wrecked.
I thought Stormare. Yeah, I thought Stormare hit him with the car. I don't know.
No, I think they wrecked because they were way up front, and the lights just kind of disappeared. And then when he pulled up, the car was upside down.
Oh,
and so I think they wrecked on the snowy ice.
Yeah,
and then that's when he killed them both.
Yeah,
that guy's a maniac, man. Like. Shit went out of hand. He's crazy.
No, I just like there's there's different parts of this film where I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm on board. Let's go. And then it kind of slowed down, and then we get into the car nonsense with his father-in-law, and I'm just like, and then his father-in-law goes to pay Buscemi, and like I didn't understand why the father-in-law needed to be as
he was just flexing his muscle, like shit's just not gonna go right. And I don't know what his father-in-law was thinking.
Right.
Like he's gonna get himself killed, and does. Like
but then he shoots Buscemi in the face.
Yeah.
And
he got lucky. Well, I wouldn't say lucky. I don't know if he survives anyway, because like that bullet wound to the gut, maybe.
Yeah, but But then he goes back to the hotel or wherever they're at, and Stormare's like, "Oh, you're a loose end, so let's throw you in the wood chipper."
Well, it wasn't even that, and like Stormare killed that lady, kind of like in From Dusk Till Dawn when Quentin Tarantino kills that lady. You know, it's just like, what are you doing? Oh, she was screaming. Well, no shit, you abducted her. Like,
it's just, but like, and then there was the loose end of Buscemi going and hiding the money.
yeah, who gets the money? Like,
yeah, right.
The snow is going to melt, and then someone's going to find that suitcase, and they're going to be rich.
Right.
But we had a discussion on my other podcast, Chronologically, about a movie called True Romance, where they find a big bag of coke or a big suitcase full of cocaine.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we would turn that into the police because that's just asking for trouble. And we kind of felt the same way about a big bag of money.
What
would you do if you found a big bag of just under $1 million?
I mean, you can't go deposit that all at once, because the government is watching that.
Right.
So I'm probably divvying it up, and I'm putting some here and putting some there. But no, man, finders keepers, bro. Let's go.
Okay.
You lost your bag of money.
They come for you.
It's my money now.
When they come for you, that's you, buddy.
How'd they go track? How'd they go?
Of course, none of these
me?
guys are coming for you. They're all dead.
Right. No, I just there are some loose ends here that I'm just like, we spent all this time.
I think the money kind of going to no one is an on-purpose loose end.
Yeah. I agree with you.
It's kind of like in Psycho, like she steals some money, throws it in her, and ends up just being thrown in the swamp because it wasn't really that important to the, what was happening. It wasn't a crime of passion. Or this one was. But yeah, I think it's on purpose to just kind of be like, well, no one wins.
Yeah. And I really liked the fact that Frances McDormand was pregnant through the entire movie. And the movie goes out of its way to tell you that she is a pregnant lady. I mean, just some more so just from like the amount of food she's eating.
Yeah.
And the way she walks and you can tell right away that she is very competent. And I like that about her character and the writing behind this is because there's no, like, everybody else seems to be a putz, like you said.
Yeah.
But she is very about her shit. She's on top of it. She's a good cop. And, and she's kind of she is the driving force behind figuring out what's happened. But, but besides everybody else kind of floundering in their own roles, how they were written, she is steadily making progress towards, solving these murders. And I really like that. And I can see, and she's very good. Frances McDormand is very good across the board, but, I haven't seen a ton of early Frances McDormand stuff. So like, this is probably one of the first Frances McDormand things I've seen. Not the first,
yeah.
But like older.
Earliest.
Yeah, earliest. There you go.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed her portrayal here. I don't know who else was nominated for Best Actress in 1996, but I'd say it was well-deserved. Well-deserved win.
I mean, what about her performance in this really set it apart from any typical performance?
Well, I mean, one, her accent.
Because I feel like she was just acting. I was just oh golly, oh gee willikers.
Yes,
it's cold out the side. I don't know. I'm making okay.
But
the longer I do an accent, the less accurate it becomes, and it didn't start off accurate either.
It just turns into a British accent.
It's all yes, party. My wife, something like that.
No, I think what sets it apart here in this movie is that the accent is obnoxious, but it's obnoxious across the board with everybody. But but she is competent while also having this obnoxious accent, and and just the way that she conducts her business. While she's like, we never see her get flustered. We never see her lose control a little bit. We never see her. The pregnancy doesn't really affect her ability to do her job. Even though like she's very pregnant and she would probably be on maternity leave. But it never affects.
But if you're the only competent,
you kind of
person on the force,
like, shit. God, I'm about to have a fucking baby, and I got to go solve these homicides. Get the fuck out of here. That'd suck. You're in the delivery room, and somebody calls you, be like, "We got another one." You're like, "Fuck."
All right, hold on, let me squirt this baby out.
But yeah, that's like I enjoy it is because she's a pleasant person, like, and also she doesn't let any of this really affect her demeanor. She just continues to be this pleasant person, and like it's just a weird combination of personality traits, I guess, to where you don't typically see this type of character with this type of job and everything. And they're pleasant, and they're nice to everybody, and competent. Like it just seems a lot of things that typically go against each other, but for her, it works. And so, and I think that's a lot of it. A lot of it has to do with her acting ability.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have much else to add to this. I thought it was fine. Like I don't understand the hype behind it, or why it has the legacy it does. It's fine, but it doesn't stand apart like from the other Coen Brother movies we've watched. I think both of them are better, which would be No Country for Old Men, and then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm right there with you.
This was fine.
I'm going to take that as you're not recommending it.
No, like it.
I'm not either. It's like you said, it's fine. I don't have any real desire really, and before that I didn't have any desire to really watch it, but I have no desire to revisit this one ever. It's one of those ones that you're like, why is this so hyped? But it is an interesting watch. It does have interesting characters. It does have an interesting setting, and not too many films take place in Minnesota, so
Minnesota.
So it's an interesting watch, but yeah, I'm there with you. I'm not gonna recommend it. It's fine. Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
One of the reasons I picked this movie was to set you up to pick a particular movie that you had mentioned previously.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're going to.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, you wanted to pick that before. Here's your chance.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, so my choices for and I told you I was waffling before the pod on two films, and one of them is The Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which is the one that I was probably maybe had picked before or going to pick before, but and the other is a Coen Brothers production,
Another.
Inside Llewyn Davis, starring
Who?
Oscar Isaac. And
Inside who?
I think that's what it's called. Inside.
Yeah, Luland. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. It's not a musical. It is a movie about music, but it's not a musical. Oscar
Have you
Isaac.
seen it?
No, I haven't. But I also don't know if I want to watch another Coen brother movie back to back. So we're gonna watch from 2017 a movie directed by Martin McDonagh, who you may remember from one of our favorite films from, I think, 2 years ago. He directed The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
We're going to watch 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, starring Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. Baby, you gave me Sam Rockwell to work with. We're watching Vice again. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
This I haven't seen it. I've wanted to see it. Heard it was really good. It got nominated for all sorts of awards. I think it might have won some. Yeah, it did. It won two Oscars for again, Frances McDormand won and Sam Rockwell won. So we're gonna watch 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, another film that takes place in a weird location that you typically wouldn't see films made. And
hopefully this time it's better.
Where is it streaming? Oh, it's streaming on Hulu. So, yeah.
I've got lots to work. Okay. Yeah, I've got a lot of options here for the next film.
Absolutely. So, what also is a good idea is that if you're watching on YouTube, you hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content right here on the channel. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're at Movie Draft House. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and subscribe. And don't forget the podcast releases weekly every Thursday in your favorite podcast streaming platform. Jeff, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Jay Queasy. You can also check out my other podcast. What the hell is it called? Chronologically, where we're currently going through all the works of Quentin Tarantino. And then my other podcast called All Things Being Sequel, where right now we're looking at all the Leprechaun films.
You've been watching. Yeah, I say it every week, but those Leprechaun films keep going.
They really do. And in some ways, they keep getting better.
Ooh.
Some of them are good.
Some of them. What percentage of all Leprechaun films are good?
I would actually say that Leprechaun as a series is one of the stronger horror series. It's hard to say because I don't think it's as good as like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sure.
But like compared to Children of the Corn, it kills it. But I would say about 50% of them are actually good.
Okay.
And worth watching.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
Spoilers for the pod.
Oh. Jeff, any last words?
Yeah. No.
I was just hoping you were going to do a Minnesota accent. Damn it.
Minnesota. No. I don't have any fucking... Damn. I lost it like right away. Minnesota.